The tech job market is tough right now. From the layoffs to hiring freezes, and the competition is insane. If you want to know how to navigate, if you want to know how to navigate this, stay tuned. Watch the full video. Let's get into it. All right, so I took some notes here, so I want to cover them for you just so I wasn't all over the place. Let's get into it. So, first, we need to understand the overview of like just what happened, just high level. Won't get into too much detail, but just give you enough so you can have some understanding. So, the perceived economic downturn, and so there's the high interest rates. There was the overhiring in the tech boom. If you remember during the pandemic, everyone was working from remotely. Some companies went out of business. It was tough. It was an employee market where there was a lot of folks that didn't want to work, so it was tough finding workers. And it just was a lot of other things. And then when we kind of shifted out of that period, that boom was absolutely insane. So what ended up happening was now it got very competitive because it was an employee market, but it was in our advantage to where companies were overpaying, uh, they were overhiring, and I was sitting back watching, and I was like, okay, this is not sustainable. And lo and behold, the market shifted. And so it went from companies were willing to, be flexible with remote. You can work way in California. You can work for a company in California and you in Florida, what have you. But now it's not an employee market anymore. And the market has shifted. And so now it's an employer market. And so, with that being said, we have to adjust. You have to adjust to the market. The market is never going to adjust to you or myself. And so things change. So all those opportunities that was opened up, a lot of them were remote. Now it's hybrid, which is now requiring you to be in the office, which means you need to be local. And so that reduces some of the openings. Not saying that there aren't companies that are remote first and they really value that, but it's just not as many openings there along with the reduction in workforce. Okay, that's just a high level. You can go and do your own research if you want to learn a little bit more, but just high level, just letting you know what some of the things that happen there. But I don't want to. But I don't. I want to leave. Now I want to share some strategies to help you stay competitive. One, upskill continuously. Take online courses like Course Careers in the chat in the description. Uh, Two, build a strong portfolio. And if you're in tech specifically, you can do that. Like if you're on the technical side, build a portfolio. There's many different tools out there you can use. When I coach folks, I tell them, "Hey, build up your portfolio." You can use GitHub as one example, and there's probably some other ones out there that you can use. It's plenty of them out there. It's just about building up that portfolio that you can demonstrate that you have the capabilities of doing that work. Three, you have to be actively networking and you have to be intentional because just applying to a job when, as I mentioned, the competition has increased. So you cannot just put apply to the position and then hope and pray. Apply to the position, because when you look at how many other people applied, sometimes it's thousands, it's 700. So you're just sure you might get lucky, but do you want to leave it to chance? So you have to actively network. And there's ways that you can do that on there's LinkedIn. Uh, on the local level, probably need to reach out to folks, but there is a way to do it. But you have to be intentional about it. Praying, applying and praying is not a strategy. Four, consider freelancing. Uh, and that'll help you gain some experience and build those connections as well, because then you're building your credibility. You're building up your references where people can vouch for your background and what you can bring to the table. So that's a good way as well. Uh, Five, it kind of supports number one, but with five specifically, you want to stay informed of like staying up with the market trends, the industry trends that you're interested in, and just the news in general. Because when things are shifting in the market, if you're going down a path that it's going to be deemed decommissioned or obsolete, I, probably not wise to keep going down that path. Or if you're already down that path, like, and you're making money or not, like let's just say you're working and you're down that path, make keep making your money, but then shift, like start working on your plan to shift into another area that you're interested in, but it also has value in the marketplace that will pay you the money that you're looking for. But it's all about adding value to the marketplace. So bottom line, stay informed. Number six, you want to understand remote work. I know that's really important to a lot of folks, but hey, be open to hybrid too. Don't totally discount hybrid, but it just really depends on what's important to you in this season. But I'll tell you, if you're 100% remote, you need to deliver on your commitments. You can't be mouse jiggling. I'm joking, but I'm serious. You really have to be a high performer. Uh, Too much is given, much is required, and you have to be on top of your A game when you are remote. So it's not a I'm remote so I can just chill. That's not this type of party. That's not this type of market, and they will get you up out of there ASAP. And so with understanding remote, you need to know the pros and cons. It's like I was just sharing. There's pros and cons. For totally remote, it does, when you're remote, you have to be even more intentional with scheduling time with people, um, being on camera. I know some people say, "Oh, I don't like to be on camera." Well, as much as you can reproduce that offline in the office every day, highly recommended. Now, going being on site, its benefits because you with the people every day. There's lunch meetings, there's one-off conversations, and you just have a lot more visibility organically, and it's just because you're physically there. So there's a place for both. You can navigate both. You can be successful in both, but there is just two different worlds, and so you know how you are, and so you have to take that into consideration. And ultimately, the company is the company. So whatever their expectations are, it's their expectations. You're not going to change them. So either it works for you or it does not. Last but not least, number seven, be persistent, because I get it. I understand it can be, you can start to get discouraged. Uh, One of the things I'll tell you is do not be a lone ranger. Have a community that you can be a part of. Have a coach that you can work with, but do not be a lone ranger, especially if you're looking to make a pivot, you're making a transition, or you're not working right now. You need that support system of like minds that's leveling up. When you've worked long enough, you may or will be impacted in some shape or form with the cycles, the business cycle. So if you work long enough, you may be impacted with a layoff, or some people say layoff, and they actually got fired. Some intertwine them, but whatever the case may be, it happens. So so bottom line, it's okay to be discouraged, but it's not okay to stay there. You definitely got to keep the hope and keep the faith and keep pushing. And it's good to have that community to do that. So be persistent. If you like this video and you want to learn how to navigate this market, book a coaching call. It'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Happy to help you. This is what I do. Um, Until the next video, peace.